everybody, this is Judy at Judy in the Kitchen. If you enjoy the flavor of dill weed, well, I have the easiest refrigerator pickles that you can make with dill weed, and they're absolutely delicious. You're going to see how fast and easy these are to put together. You want to start with a pint-sized mason jar that you know is freshly washed. And we're going to use 1/2 cup of regular white vinegar. Okay, that's all you need right there. And 1/4 of a cup of distilled water. Now I'm using distilled water because I want to know it's pure. This saves you from having to boil this recipe in any way. And then we have canning and pickling salt. This is just a pure salt without iodide or anything like that. It could also be called kosher salt. I'm using 1.5 teaspoons, and this measuring spoon is actually 1/2 tablespoon, which is the same as 1.5 teaspoons. And then we want 1 teaspoon of dried dill weed. 1 teaspoon of dried dill weed, and we're just going to add it to that. Now you just want to grab a spoon and give this a stir, and stir that until that salt is dissolved in that solution. And I know this is reversed order. Usually when you're making a pickle, you'll fill your jar first with your cucumber slices or however you're going to cut the cucumber, and then you pour the brine over it. We're reversing the order on this one, no harm done. Alright, now we're going to set that aside, but we still want it within reach. Let me move these out of the way. Alright, and now I have a pickling cucumber. This is a large one. It's one that was given to me, and I'm going to use it. This is not waxed. You see, the first thing I'm doing is cutting off both ends. I want to get rid of that. Now you can cut this cucumber any way you prefer. You can leave it whole, but if you do, I would advise you cut off both ends, and it needs to be a small one to be able to fit comfortably in this jar. But what I'm going to do is put it in bite-sized pieces. You can slice it if you want to. I'm cutting it up, just my preference here, the way I want to cut it up, which is going to be in bite-sized pieces, and I can add this to a salad. You can have it something to nibble on, however you want. And again, this is not a waxed cucumber. If you want to buy a cucumber from the grocery store and it has wax on it, you will need to peel it. But if there's no wax on there, you can leave the peel right on there. And all we're going to do is just drop these in the jar, and we're going to keep adding cucumber pieces to the jar until that jar is full. And then we're going to put the lid on there, and you're going to see that we're going to be able to fill this jar and still have most, if not all, of that brine covering these cucumber pieces. That's the beauty of cutting them like this. And they're kind of floating to the top right now, but they'll go down. And then, after we're done, all we need to do is shake them up a little bit and put them in the refrigerator overnight. And in the next morning, you will have some delicious pickles. They'll be crispy, and they'll have a really fresh, wonderful flavor of dill. I may not get all this in there, but that's okay. We're going to fit in there what we can fit in there. And that's probably about all I'm going to put in there. A couple more pieces, I think. And now I'm just going to close this up and give it a bit of a toss here, shake, just to kind of make sure all the cucumber is coated. And I probably have a piece or two too many in there, but I'm not going to worry about it. It'll be just fine. And that's all there is to it. Put it in the refrigerator, leave it in there overnight. Because I have a piece or two in there too many, it doesn't hurt to take it out every now and then and just do like this. But if you don't put too many in there like I've done and have it where they're all covered with the brine, all you need to do is just give it an initial shake like that, put it in the refrigerator and let it sit overnight, and then enjoy them the next day. This is the jar that we just made. I have a jar here to show you. These are pickles that I made yesterday, and they look pretty much the same as the others. They're not all wilty or anything like that, but they are crisp and they are delicious, and I can't get my hands off of them. They're just really good. Crunchy and refreshing. Yum. Now that's the way I like them best. If you like garlic, you can also take a medium clove of garlic, peel it, crush it, add it to the jar when you're adding your seasonings in there, and then you'll have a little bit of a garlic flavor. If you like a lot of garlic, add more cloves than that. Whatever you like. The recipe is below. Give this a try sometime and let me know how it works for you. This is Judi at Judi in the Kitchen. Bye for now.